Okay, so like real talk, it's been a rough month. One of those things that I discovered was all of a sudden poi became a great way to digest whatever emotions I was going through in the course of a day. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that ribbon dancing was pretty cool. All of us want to find our people. All of us want to find connection. What up there, friends? So May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I almost missed it, which is kind of ironic, partially because my own mental health has been a little bit of a challenge this month. But I did want to mark the occasion by talking about something that's near and dear to me as a flow artist, and that is the impact that flow arts has on my mental health, and specifically how it can help improve it. Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today we're going to dive into the brain side of things because I want to share how flow arts does benefit my brain and hope that it can for you too. But before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Fire Mecca, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all of these awesome companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I have down in the description of this video. And special thanks to the non-business friends of the channel, Lain Mochinsky and Pekha Pekkonen. Thank you both so much for supporting my channel, my work, and my mission. So, as I'm recording this video, it is Saturday, May 20th, and I am coming off a couple weeks that have been incredibly challenging from a mental health perspective for a variety of reasons. And it is also the day that there is a massive street festival down near the Capitol building here in DC called Fiesta Asia, that is a pan-Asian celebration of culture, food, live entertainment, etc. So one of those things I'm doing for my mental health today is to go out and take part in that. So how about y'all join me? So I did some thinking and I've realized that there are 5 specific ways that flow arts helps to improve my mental health. And I'm going to share the first of them with you as I'm on my way to go grab a bike and head down to the metro. First up, and this is honestly a pretty obvious one, but there's the physical activity side of things. There are so many studies out there showing now that physical activity is something that can have a positive impact on mental health, whether you struggle with depression, anxiety, or any number of other conditions. I do want to put a little bit of a pin in this one though, because one of the most frequent ways that people kind of gaslight or tell people that are suffering from disorders like depression that they could be doing more to improve their condition is to ask if they've gone out and done any physical activity. And there are some days when, quite frankly, just getting out of bed is the victory. And I don't want to I don't want to cast aspirations on that. If you're in a place where just getting out of bed is the victory for the day, or you can't even do that, then you know what? That is a valid place to be. But at the same time, as a flow artist, being able to get out and engage in physical activity on a frequent basis is absolutely something that has a positive impact on my state of mind and something I really appreciate about being a flow artist. One of those things that I found was really helpful for keeping my mental health in a positive place during the quarantine was making sure that I had a regular routine of getting out at the end of each day and flowing for an hour, regardless of what that flow consisted of, just so long as I engaged in it. I really do not think it is underrated at all just to make flow a regular part of your routine, regardless of how intense it is, regardless of, whether you're learning a lot of new tricks or what have you. Just engaging in the activity itself is helpful. All right, cool. So I am arriving at the bikes. So I'm gonna go hop a bike and then hop on the metro, and I'll see you all on the other side there. Peace. So as is not infrequently the case in DC, the metro is kind of a mess today. So I'll give you my second point here while we're waiting for the train to come in. So the second way that I find that flow arts is a great fit for helping out with mental health is a term that's kind of become a little bit of a buzzword, and that is mindfulness. So as I understand it, mindfulness is basically fixing the brain in the moment. That is, rather than having your brain obsessed with something that is off in the future or somewhere far off that is away from you, it brings your mind into the present in a way that makes it so that it's more difficult to catastrophize. As somebody who suffers from a lot of anxiety, that's something that's really, really important to me. Cool, train's here. Let's get started. Please move to the center of the car. right, so as I was saying before, this actually came up recently because I was actually at one of the Smithsonian museums, the American Indian Museum, and learning some cool indigenous skill toys. And one of the people that was presenting one of those skill toys kind of pointed out to me that when you're working on a task that is, it might not be completely beyond your grasp, but it takes some concentration. It focuses you in the now in a way that really grounds you, and that I feel like there are very few things out there that ground people in the same kind of way. So yeah, I'm going to call flow arts a win when it comes to mindfulness and grounding. All right, so I have made it downtown. I just got off at the Judiciary Square stop, which for some reason is always pronounced with a British accent in my head. I'm not sure why. But now I am on my way down to the street festival, so hopefully it is still popping. And as I'm walking down there, I'll talk about the third thing that I think flow arts is really good for that helps with my mental health. And this one might be a little bit more uniquely me, but I feel like flow arts gives me a sense of purpose. So like running my channel is one of those things that I get to have a pretty direct impact on a lot of people out there. I see people learning the things that I've taught them, and it makes me really happy. I love knowing that I'm giving people something that is improving their lives too. Plus which, having regular goals that I'm attempting to make with my flow, whether it be creating content or whether, it be trying to get down a piece of choreography by X time, having to do that stuff on a regular basis keeps me in a routine, and that's also good for my mental health. This gets talked about a lot where, like, if you have regular routines of different things, they can also help ground you, especially with anxiety and depression. And, not only being a flow artist, but also having a series of content channels centered around that is really, really helpful for building routine. We're here. Yowza, so it is really, really sunny and hot out right now, which is kind of funny because apparently we're expecting rain later on today, but I'm going to enjoy the sunlight while it lasts. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that ribbon dancing was pretty cool. There may be a thing or three that stuck out of my head that I might try to do with some poi, we'll have to see. All right, so the fourth way that flow arts can be helpful with mental health, and again, this is, I think, somewhat unique to my style of flow, but one of those things that I discovered as I was getting deeper into poi as dance was all of a sudden poi became a great way to kind of digest whatever emotions I was going through in the course of a day. I'd put on some music and I would find a mood that I didn't know that I was having. And I was just able to inhabit that mood for a while, which felt really good. Man, it is pretty noisy all over the place here. I'm gonna see if I can find somewhere to sit down and finish out this point. All right, so I'm gonna take a little stroll through the courtyard of the National Gallery of Art. I've always loved these fountains and the glass pyramids on the other side of them. So I realized in talking about this that it's probably likely to be somewhat controversial because I think there are some people that have a theory of mental health that the whole point of it is to get rid of emotions that may be troubling us. And I am not of that persuasion. I think that every emotion is valid, though not every response to an emotion may be appropriate. And that the more we feel those things and the more we acknowledge and process those things, the better we do overall. So being able to flow out, to be able to inhabit whatever I'm feeling in a given day, be it, frustration or joy, sometimes it's loneliness, all of it I think has a place, and I really enjoy being able to flow and dance in order to explore all of those feelings. Man, I would really love to grab some of the food or drinks, but all of the bloody concession lines are so long. We'll see if I break down and go get in one anyhow. But in the meantime, let's talk about item number 5, shall we? Okay, so honestly, this one might be the simplest one of all, and that's just connection. Through flow arts, we find people that we like. We find support. We find people that are there for us when we are at our lowest. And that's not nothing. That is something that has been a big help to me in the past year. For the first time, I think, in my entire life, I've put some effort into leaning on the people around me and let them know how they can support me. All of us want to find our people. All of us want to find connection. We want to find our home. We want to find our family. We want to find our tribe. And flow arts is honestly a great way to do that because, as one person once told me, you find other people that are willing to go out and spin around an object and figure out how to do tricks with it. Y'all have something in common. I think it takes a special kind of person to do that. So flow arts is great for connecting people who have that gear in their head and helping them to find each other. Literally, we send up a flag to alert each other when we're around, and it's kind of cool. So check it out. This spot behind me here is the Canadian Embassy. For some reason, the Canadians went really hard on having a presence here in the United States. And they have this beautiful courtyard and rotunda. I've actually shot videos here previously. Being in the shade feels so nice. Goodness gracious me. Definitely always bring water. Hydrate, dear friends. Okay, so real talk. It's been a rough month, and yet at the same time, I'm feeling surprisingly on top of things. Some pretty awful stuff has happened, but I feel as though I'm able to engage with life. I feel like I'm able to maintain meaningful relationships. I feel like I'm able to keep myself focused at work, which kind of means a lot. And there's a lot of different factors that led into that, not just going to therapy and learning new tools for being able to support myself and others when mental health becomes a problem, but also too, flow arts plays a role in all that, and I'm really grateful to have it in my life. So, a very happy Mental Health Awareness Month to all of you out there. Pretty please tell me your stories about flow arts and mental health. How has flow arts supported your mental health over the years? Please leave me a comment and let me know. If you got anything out of this video, please make sure to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe to keep the conversation going, to help other people find it, and of course, to help my channel grow. This video would not be possible were it not for the kind support of all of these awesome people right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon. They and the people listed down in the description help to make this video and all the videos on this channel possible. Thank you one and all for your very generous support. And if you out there watching are not currently a supporter but you'd like to become one, you can do so by heading out over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and signing up. You can do that at the link that I've got down in the description or the card that just popped up if you're watching on YouTube. There you can get access to a whole host of awesome rewards, and even better, you'll be helping me out in my mission to bring poi spinning and flow arts to the whole wide world. Go check that out, please and thank you. And if you'd like to check out some of my other videos on flow arts and mental health, and specifically my own mental health, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to a playlist of those videos down in the description, as well as up here on screen if you're watching on YouTube. Also, the YouTube algorithm thinks that you might like this top video here based upon your past viewing habits and stuff that other people who watch my channel enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to get out and flow today. It's good for your brains, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Peace.